Welcome to the last module of this course. How proud are you of how far you've come? By now, I'm sure you've healed from traumas, from emotional triggers, mental ruminations, finding your soul, and I'm sure you've seen some physical healing happen as well. After we've gone and healed the deep parts of ourselves and started to heal our physical selves and create our new, healthy, happy identity, now we need to know how to sustain it and keep it going. And this part is so important that I wanted to share with my own story. I was miraculously cured from a near-death experience. I'm not sure how many of you in this program have actually known much about my near-death experience, but I was miraculously cured through that experience, and I didn't realize it because I was still in a state of trauma. And I was symptom-free for almost 2 years, but then I didn't know what to do with it. I didn't have the language, or I didn't put everything together. So I just went back to my old identity. I went back to my old job, my old home, my old ways of thinking, my old ways of acting, my old ways of feeling. And in my old identity laid my old condition. So it came back. And it came back with a vengeance. So I really didn't put anything together. I just thought, maybe it had gone into remission from the experience. And that was that, until I started doing more research and putting everything together. And then I was actually able to heal myself through these processes that you have gone through. That trauma work, that shadow work, the inner child work, the spiritual work, connecting with source, connecting with my God, connecting with the universe, going within, and having a constant thought of, all my thoughts had to be about creating my future. Because as soon as you stop thinking ahead and you stop trying to create, or you just don't even think about it, what does your brain do? It automatically goes on default. And default are your old programs, your old thoughts, your old feelings, your old actions, your old identity, your old illness. So if you are not actively creating your future, your happy, healthy identity, your brain loves to go back to those programs. It's easy. It doesn't take as much work. By the time we are 35, we are 95% running on programs, subconscious programs. So we have to constantly create new ones. I compare it to trying to divert water from a canyon, a canyon that the water has been carving for loads and loads and loads and loads of years, longer than we've been alive. It's not just going to be a few rocks and the whole river changes. You're going to have to actively build up those rocks and build up that detour and build up that change. And when you don't, where's the water going to go? It's going to go in that easy route. So your brain is very similar. Those networks, those neurons, those everythings, those identities. So once again, you have to actively keep creating. And the reason this is so important is because when you go on default and your brain thinks that you're living in the past, your body does too. So it didn't just happen with me, going back from this healing and going back to a severe form of my condition, but it happens with other people who stop doing the work, that they stop checking in on themselves, and they stop what they've learned in this course, and they stop having this spiritual practice. They stop the routine. They just, life catches up to them. It's really easy, and I'm not blaming anyone for it. It's so easy to go back into the programs of the past without even realizing it. So you need to make an active thought in the morning as soon as you get out of bed about your new created identity. And when you're completely healed, think about what that life looks like, and just get up and think about you're already in it. And when you are already in it, just keep, thinking about your future in that healthy, happy life. So when you feel and think about the past, your body and subconscious mind love to go back there in all forms. So I really wanted to get on and share my own story of why it is so important not to just stop. Once you are healed and physically, you feel a lot better physically, you can't stop. Well, you can, and you can go back to those old patterns and those old pains. But then you you have to maybe not start from scratch, but do you really want to go to your past old identities? It's also a work in progress. Once you learn how to heal yourself on all these accounts, that doesn't stop pain from ever entering your life again. We'll still have loss, we'll still have heartbreak, we'll still have maybe bumps and bruises and colds and flus. We are still living in the human condition. But because you have learned so many tools to encompass the big healing, you get to keep doing that. And it's much easier if you chunk away at the future instead of this huge thing you've just gone through about, climbing this Mount Everest. Now you just get to, hop over little hills going forward. So I am so proud of you. You have come so far, and don't hesitate to reach out, review the material in the course. Make sure you stay in your new routines, continue creating new ones. You can join, if you haven't already joined my Facebook community, The Divine Body and Soul, jump in there. I probably should have mentioned that at the beginning of this course. Maybe I'll go back and add that in. But also celebrate all of your wins, the big ones and the small ones. The ones where you want to hit the snooze button in the morning and you don't. You get up excited to embrace the day. That is it. Well, that's actually a pretty big win in my book. And you know what? If life catches up to you, if you get busy, if, you just kind of fall out of the routine, that's okay. Just start it again.